welcome to Fairy Tale.
ちょっと汚れたスーツケースを持って何も知らずに空から降りた地図の向こうここに山上夢見た憧れの場所 Yeah 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 The Rock City Boy Yeah 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 The Rock City Boy
I am Natsu Dragneel.
I'm Grey Bullbuster.
I am Elfman.
I'm Julia. I'm Lisanna.
I'm Charle.
I'm Loki.
I'm Happy.
I'm Mira.
I'm Erza.
I'm Wendy.
We are Fairy Tale. We don't live like we have already. Oh, god damn it.
We do. Yes.
My magic arc of time manipulates my wedgie.
I'm Naruto. Wait, shit.
Aha! I suddenly see the fail in this plan.
I'm always needing someone.
Well, I can do that for you.
Like a good neighbor, Moo Moo is there. And can I get a ham sandwich?
I want a sandwich.
I wanna be a saint of me, make recently like this is me. Pretty please, I'm version of fever, ecstasy with exegees. Rhyme and rhyme, sound like Rhino. Won't stand up for the blackjack bottle when I stay home. You stay here, now you stay to go,
So hello and welcome to episode 42 of Fairy Tale Podcast. Wow, I almost said Konoha Corner. I was like, no, we already recorded that earlier, jackass! We recorded episode 42 of KC a long time ago. Woohoo! Got a lot of interesting stuff to go over. We've got some cool new stuff coming up in the intro, so look forward to that. We're going to be not doing outtakes this time. I mean, that was cute and nice and everything, but since our outtakes are now going up on sale, and we've already done 25 episodes of free stuff because it started episode 25 and it will end on 49, no more outtakes. I mean, they're nice and they're cute and everything, but that's the reason I save all the raw files is so we can have all those outtakes. So look forward to keeping an eye out on your iTunes for Fairy Tale Podcast outtakes, because there's going to be plenty. Alrighty. So, I wanted to go ahead and jump into some of our con news, or our specific con news. We are going to be at OMG Con this coming weekend in Paducah, Kentucky, and that will, of course, be this coming weekend, like I said. Alright. We've got 2 panels going on there, so make sure to check those out. Or go to omgcon.com. Or, is it omg-con? What is it? Is it omgcon.com? Okay, so go to omgcon.com for a look at the full schedule. And make sure to look for the Konoha Corner Q&A and the Fairy Tale Podcast thingy. The Konoha Corner Fairy Tale Podcast Q&A and the Creating Your Own Podcasting Empire. Those are the 2 that we're doing there. Anime Expo happening on the 29th of June through the 2nd of July. Several of us from Konoha Corner are going to be there. Sadly, I'm the only Fairy Tale Podcast member that will be attending. But good stuff all around regarding all of that good stuff. Yes. Come by, check us out. I am submitting a Fairy Tale Podcast panel as well. I mean, just doing the Fairy Tale Podcast itself, talking about it, saying, hey, this is who we are, this is what we do, blah, 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 blah. And maybe playing some episode stuff, like maybe manga recap, because we can actually play those. We don't curse a lot in that, so we might be able to get away with playing that. Then, of course, we've got coming up after that, in the middle of July, from the, I think it's the 13th through the 15th, if I'm correct, in Sevierville, Tennessee, we have Anime Southeast. And actually, for both the podcasts and stuff, we are doing 5 panels for that con. So it's going to be huge. We get to hang out with Todd Habercorn, maybe signing some autographs at an autograph table, because they've said they're probably going to give us an autograph table, an autograph booth to sign stuff. Several members of the Fairy Tale Podcast community are going to be there. The crew's a large portion of the crew, as well as the Konoha Corner crew and Todd Habercorn again. So make sure you're there. I'm also going to be a guest, I think, because they're putting me on stage and some stuff. So there's going to be a lot of fun stuff to do, and Todd may come in for our Fairy Tale Podcast panel. And we may be doing an 18 and up Q&A along with him, so that would be really, really cool if we managed to pull that off. Alrighty, so that is the cool and interesting stuff going on there. And that will wrap up the podcast news. And I am going to hand things over to Charle for the con updates.
Hello and welcome to this segment of Con News. We have ColossalCon, June 7th to the 10th at the Kalahari Resort and Convention Center in Sandusky, Ohio, and Todd Haberkorn will be there. Then we have Anime Blues Con, which is June 15th through the 17th at the Hilton Memphis at Memphis, Tennessee, and Todd Haberkorn will be there. Anime Expo, which is in Los Angeles at the Los Angeles Convention Center, and Monica Rial will be there. And that wraps it up for Con News.
Alrighty, so yeah, that is going to wrap us up for all of our news this week, and we are going to move on to all of our segments, starting with Charles' Magical Education.
Hello and welcome to this segment of Charles' Magical Education. Today I am going to cover Chico C. Hammond. Chico is the daughter of Ruchio, who is the owner of Fairy Hills. She has a round face and long blonde hair. On her neck she wears a chain necklace that goes through a ring. She has 2 spirits on her shoulders, which are most likely gathered by her magic. She has a sedate personality that whenever she goes out with a group of people, she would be left behind in the end. Her speaking pace is also unpredictable. She also has a secret crush on Luxus, and her appearance is based off of Hiromishima's assistant, Sho Nakamura. Her magic is called Legend of the City. It is a caster type magic. This magic allows the user to collect wandering souls within Magnolia Town and use them for combat. However, if the user steps out of Magnolia, even for 1 step, they must recollect all the souls again. By collecting the wandering souls only within Magnolia Town, she can use them for combat. But, once again, she cannot leave Magnolia Town for 1 second. And that wraps it up for Charles' Magical Education. Going to hand it over to Elfman for Cooking with Elfman.
Today on Cooking with Elfman, I'm going to teach you how to make chocolate bourbon spiked banana bread.
I didn't hear a single thing in that was not good.
It's all
So like chocolate,
Every chocolate, banana, bread, bourbon. Not a single thing was wrong with that statement, sir. Not a single.
Because he's a banana. He's a banana.
Can you
spike them
mute him?
now. And first off, you're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour and more on the side for the pan. 1 tablespoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, a half a cup of unsalted butter, softened, plus more for the pan, 1 cup of granulated sugar, 2 large eggs, 1.5 cup of mashed ripe bananas. It'll take about 3 of them. 1 teaspoon of fresh lemon juice, 3 tablespoons of bourbon, plus more for the baker. 1 cup of coarsely chopped walnuts, and 1 cup, about 6 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chips or chopped dark chocolate. First
I
off,
like how during this cooking process you are not advocating sobriety of the chef.
No,
not
you
at
have
all.
to. Oh,
You're like, you should tell. I'm like, you do not make this unless you are pissed drunk. Yeah.
The chef always has to have a glass of what is being used.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Right? It's like, we don't encourage sober people here.
That is true.
Yay! First off, preheat the oven to about 350 degrees Fahrenheit, or if you're using Celsius, 172 degrees, and place a rack in the center of the oven. Butter and flour a 9 by 5 inch loaf pan, tapping out any excess flour. In a medium bowl, sift together the flour, baking powder, and salt. In the same bowl, use an electric stirring mixer fitted with a paddle attachment. Beat the butter and sugar until light and fluffy. About 3 to 5 minutes. Add the eggs one at a time, beating for a minute between additions. Stop the mixer and scrape down the side of the bowl, add the bananas, lemon juice, and bourbon, and beat with the paddle until well incorporated. The mixture may look curdled, that's okay. Then turn the mixer to low, add the flour mixture all at once, and beat until almost completely incorporated. Stop the mixer, add the walnuts and chocolate, and stir by hand with a spatula or wooden spoon just until incorporated. Spoon the mixture into the preheated loaf pan. Then bake for about 45 minutes to an hour until the skewer inserted in the center of the hot loaf comes out clean. Let the loaf cool in the pan for about 20 minutes before inverting it onto a wire rack and letting it cool completely. If, of course, you can manage to keep your hands off it until that amount of time. The banana bread will keep for up to about 5 days, well wrapped at room temperature. And that is it for Cooking with Elfman. I'm going to pass it on to Lisanna for Reedus Gallery.
Entry into Reedus Gallery. For today's episode, I've got a picture titled Dragon Slayer's Fairy Tale by Diabo Lumberto. It's a manga coloration, and it's really, really, really well rendered. The textures on, the furs and the hairs are really cool. The clothing folds are amazing. The smoothness of their skin's really well done, and the overall shading is good. And of course, to love the panel on its own. I mean, this is right out of the manga, but I mean, the perspective is really well done, and good foreshortening and stuff. But I mean, overall, the colors and the shading and even the texturing in some places are excellent. With that being said, I'm gonna go around and ask everybody's opinions. Loki, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up.
Alright. Gray?
Thumbs up.
Natsu?
Thumbs up.
Aries?
Thumbs up.
Charle?
Pause. Sideways.
Huh. Elfman?
Thumbs up.
And Wendy?
Thumbs up.
Alright. What is one thing you liked or disliked about this picture? Loki?
I really like the colorations, all the shading, especially like on the hair and the clothes of the three characters. Really looks like they put a lot of work in just making sure that the shades were perfect, and the colorations were almost exact.
Awesome. Gray?
I'm jelly. I want them skills. I like the way, they've got the clouds to almost circle around, if you look at it. And I'm going to go with Toby, but without the coloration word.
Coloration is a word.
Oh, I know, but I'm being a finicky bastard. I like the shading in the little fur thing that Sting's got. His kinky boa, his feather boa.
Okay.
Oscar would be jealous.
Loki stole mine. Talking about all the fucking color, I was like, I'm totally gonna talk about how awesome the color this is, and then.
Well, it's okay because he said more than one thing, so you can take that one.
But no, I really do like the shade and the tone and everything in there. It was so well done as far as the color balance was done. I also like that it kind of seems almost like it's got the tone that kind of gives it kind of an oil painting feel. So it doesn't feel overly digital. Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
and like some of the undertones. So yeah. I love the fact that it doesn't look overly digital. Okay, moving on.
Awesome. Aries?
I would have to say that the way that it's colored, the shading, the way the clothing's folded, all of it just brings out the characters so much, just how they colored it so well, and it just looks really great. It's a really
Okay.
great picture.
Awesome. All right. Charle?
I like the coloring, but the perspective, it seems off. Like, if Sting was in the right corner, and then you might be able to see more of Gajil, and the clouds are just, I don't know, it makes me want to turn my head sideways.
You're weird.
What?
Yeah,
Blame
I
the
agree.
manga artist then. Anyways, Elfman.
I like the intensity of their eyes. You can tell that something fierce is going on between them.
Fierce.
That's when I bring
Alright.
up the three amigos.
No, all that messiness. No, all that
No. We were the Three Musketeers.
Where are the sombreros?
Alright. And, Wendy.
There's not much to add that really hasn't been said, but I do like that this is bright. That for the shades they used of the different colors, that they're more bright than dark. And I really like that. It's much easier on my eyes.
Awesome, okay. So, one word to describe this picture. Loki.
Cloud.
Gray.
Face off.
Natsu.
Boa.
Alright. Aries.
Intense.
Charle.
Perspective.
Okay. Elfman.
Fiesta!
Siesta! And Wendy.
Bright.
Look, guys, it was either Boa or Gay.
Alright.
It was only going to be one of the two.
Alright.
No, that's okay. I wasn't judging you, bro.
Gay.
So, with that all being said and done, I'm going to wrap up this segment and hand it over to Natsu.
All right, so, from that having been said, we are going to move on to the manga recap. All right, so this week's chapter is chapter 284, and oh my fucking god! That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I'm speechless about this one.
There's some really good stuff going on with this chapter. First and foremost is the image of you get to see the trio, the three-person guild that is Crime Sorcerer, and I'm sorry, that is just the most badass guild ever because it has this Banff dude in charge. And then the big boobies. So that's the important part right there. I mean, you've got to have the big boobies. It's just how it goes. And you've got like the two different types of big boobies. Like you've got kind of the melancholy big boobies, and then you've got the happy, cheerful big boobies. That's always good to have balance. Very good. Right, Loki?
I'm sorry, I was too busy staring. What?
Balance with boobies is everything.
Indeed. There is no better lesson learned.
All right. All right, so we start off the chapter with actually seeing people walking around in the aftermath of the next day, and talking about how somebody apparently attacked Sabretooth, and Yukino is hearing this and being like, "What? Really?" And she's like, "Natsu-sama? It couldn't be, right?" And that smile on her face just made all the Yukino Natsu ships sail out to the middle of the Atlantic. Like, this is a full-on shipping.
I will go down with the ship.
Yeah, somebody's gonna go down with this ship. And then, interestingly enough, we get Dorenbalt showing up as the special guest announcer this time around. So, yeah, there's that stuff going on. And now we've got...
And the announcer has a new wig.
And the announcer has a new wig, yes. And then we've got... What? I don't remember what his actual name is. Is it Mest? Is that his actual real name? Like, what was Mest's real name? No, Lahar is the one that's up on stage. Dorenbalt is Mest's real name. Yeah, Dorenbalt is Mest, and he's in the crowd. And
Yay!
so, get flashback of them talking and him saying, he kind of wants to be there to view Fairy Tail. And we get this giant panel of the crowd, and they're talking about the new competition for day 3 called Pandemonium.
When they said
crowd cheering.
When they said it was Pandemonium, my first thought was Juvia's whole thing. Pandemonium.
Yes,
like
me too. Did
this is gonna
everybody
be
else
a
flashback to Juvia going Pandemonium?
I thought it was gonna be a shipping contest, and I was totally on board for that.
Okay, so my whole thing is my only gripe with this is when you get to Fairy Tale Team A, you get Erza, Lucy, Wendy, Natsu, and Gray. Why is Gray the only poorly drawn character?
It's because he fucking hates me.
I guess. I don't know. Well, Erza decides she's gonna go out for Team A of Fairy Tale.
Holy
Kana
crap!
says she's...
Holy crap! Gray looks like Sasuke.
Ah!
Oh no, you just
Then
did.
Fairy Tale Team B, Kana decides to go out. And then everybody's like, why? What happened to Mystagon? And they're like, well, there's a person from the Magic Council here, right? So he couldn't just show up. And Mira's like, oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Since Erza's going out, Miliana wants to go out. And Kagura's like, yeah, sure, I'll allow it. And she's like, don't lose! And I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, there's no way that Erza's not going to lose.
They replaced Elfman with Wendy. Do they want to lose?
Anyway, so they've got... So I love that Lucy and Natsu and Gray immediately recognize Miliana. They're like, "Oh, it's that cat girl." And I'm wondering what's really flashing back through Natsu's mind. Is he thinking about the time he was stuck in the cat head and pretending to be a cat, and he got her to cry? Like, good memories. Raventail, Obra, the guy with the big giant Cat in the Hat kind of thing, that giant,
you mean the douche,
that chimney top hat that he has. Then we've got Hibiki coming in from Blue Pegasus. And then finally Orga, who was the guy that was singing in Sabretooth. And everybody in Sabretooth is like, wah, wah, wah. And I love how Sting's like, yeah, whatever. As long as it's not Natsu, I don't give a shit. And I'm like, Erza stepped out there, you might want to care. Then Jura decides to step forward for Lamia Scale, but I love how Lamia Scale is right here. Like, they've got the serious guy, they've got the cute girl, and then they've got the two stooges in the back. Like Toby crying about socks and Eyebrow saying, "Just buy new ones already, damn it!"
And Rabbit.
And then we get the return of the pumpkin.
Yay, the pumpkin!
And then
everybody has gone out for Lamia Scale except Shelia.
And then we've got Quattro Puppy, no volley. And I love that we've still got him as Quattro Puppy. That's hilarious. But now we've got this giant freaking castle popping up in the middle of nowhere. All right, somebody pointed this out earlier. I've got a comment on it. I think it was actually Kana that pointed this out. That the image of Kana saying it's huge is like the time that you see the best titty shot here. So yeah, that makes no sense whatsoever. No. All right, then we've got more dialogue explanation going on about what's really happening here. I love the shot where we get to see Panther Lily, Happy, and Charle all standing with each other. It's always good when you have all three cats in the same panel. Actually, what's really interesting is that out of everybody that's there, we've got people acting goofy in the very, very back, and oh God, what's his name? Stuffing his face again. I keep forgetting his name.
I think that's Droy.
Droy. It started with a D. All right, Droy stuffing his face. This is the most serious I think we've ever seen Mavis look.
Can I just say something real quick?
Mm-hmm.
In the one of the panels where it has the picture of the audience, does anyone else but me see some guy with a Hitler mustache?
I knew he was going to point this shit out. I knew. You always point out the most ridiculous shit possible. All right, so moving on from that, getting back to the duo, apparently, that is Markarov and Asuka. That is, like, the most adorable thing ever. But I like that her parents are on either side, just in case, like, she falls. That's awesome. Then there's the explanation of the monster classes. And apparently, it doesn't matter what kind of class of monster you get, the points are pretty much still the points. Like, it's still a point, only a point. I'm like, fuck that. If you kill an S rank, that should be, like, beyond amazing. Then they show what, like, the low-class monsters can do, and everybody's like, oh my god, that's scurry. And then they go to drawing lots. And that's probably the worst luck everybody could have possibly had after they start drawing lots. And I know I skipped plenty of pages, but it's, like, exposition that, like, it was insanely long exposition that I don't think it's needed for this actual kind of recap. And so we get to the drawing of the lots. And again, we get this time we get the ultimate, because we've got Panther Lily, Happy, Charle, and Romeo. So it's like the four cute people. that have a bit more sense. Like Asuka's cute for the fact that she's young and adorable, but these are just the cute people of Fairy Tail that actually are. And well, okay, Happy's not reasonably intelligent, but you get what I'm saying. All right, so we draw the lots, and Erza grabs number 1, and Kana grabs number 8. And it's so funny. As soon as she said this line, I knew exactly what was going to happen. She was like, the luck of the draw. And the pumpkin's like, luck of the draw? No, how should I put this? And he's like trying to explain, and she's like, no, with this, it's no longer a game. And I was like, fuck, knew she was going to say this. I turned to the next page.
Do it.
I knew she was going to do this, because it's totally how Erza is. It's totally Erza. And she says, all 100 will be my opponents. My challenger will be 100. And the look on everybody's face when she says this, even Sabretooth is like, huh?
This girl's
like,
crazy.
All the competitors are like, the fuck? And then,
I think it's funny how Gray and Natsu are laughing.
Yeah. I was about to get to that, because everybody else is like, no way. And then Gray and Natsu are like cracking the fuck up. And the pumpkin's like, no, that's impossible. And she's like, I don't care. And then we get more. This entire thing is narration right here by Levy. This is Levy narrating, and then we get this ultimate picture of like Erza kind of a little torn up, just fucking these monsters up left and right. We see a monster getting beheaded. I mean, there's just craziness going on throughout this whole giant panel. Natsu's just got that whole happy face, like, I totally knew it. The audience is like flabbergasted. I love the look on Sting's face for this right here. He's just like, holy shit, I thought it was just Natsu, and we're like, nope. I love how everybody else is shocked, and Jura's just kind of like shaking his head. Of course Erza would do this, you know? I love that we got a second little panel of the 3X sheet and Romeo, because that's just awesome. Then we've got again the Makarov and Asuka duo with Mavis right there, and I love how Mavis is just happy and clapping her way and everything, and it's like the first time everybody's like totally stunned by Fairy Tail. Kagura just has this look of, I want to kill you, I want to fight you and kill you. Like, she's got that serious look. Kana's just like, yeah, well, I'm fucked. And I love that we get the Mystagon look. Like, there is love being displayed from Jalal right now. And apparently she's just fucked up the last of the S rank. And then, it doesn't matter if you're Team A or Team B, Fairy Tail has got that. There are definite looks of pride coming in there. I love how the announcers are just all completely stunned. The S rank is falling, and then we've got tears coming from all of the friends of Fairy Tail. So I love how Miliana is crying and Mest has been brought to tears. And then we've got the final dialogue going on here for this particular one. And I'm sorry, I made a demo out of this, but it has to be said. The final panel where Erza's standing there all like tore the fuck up and tired as balls, but she's got her sword held high in the air like that. I took a screen cap of that and said that's basically She-Ra. Like, Erza has basically become She-Ra.
Does that mean they get 100 points?
That's what we're going to debate right now.
Well,
so,
I would assume so, and if not, there's some heavy bullshit going on.
Well, there's been a lot of heavy bullshit going on. All right, so let's talk about the highlights. What were the highlights of this chapter? Good or bad? What do you think the highlights were there for this chapter? Open to anyone. Go.
The return of the freaking pumpkin.
Erza kicking ass, obviously. I mean, holy crap!
Like that the first thing I heard was Return of the fucking Pumpkin.
Yes, everything was so beautiful and all of my feelings.
I like how there were like multiple panels. You got to see pretty much everybody you wanted to see. This was like a giant collage of all of the people we've come to know and love.
It was like everyone's shocked face. Like everyone's like, whoa.
I love how Natsu and Gray were just dying laughing. They're like, of course!
Of course you would do that.
No. It's one of those moments where Gray and Natsu were just sitting there smiling and laughing because they were like, I would have fucking done it too. It's basically how they think. It's just like, Erza's been their role model this whole time.
Sorry, what? Great minds think alike.
I know, right? That's why we're geniuses, bitch.
I know.
Alright, any other highlights you guys wanted to point out?
Titties.
Tiny.
Good or bad? Any highlights?
Titties.
Yeah, there were tons of them in this one.
Yeah. Keep on
Actually,
moving.
I liked them showing the examples of like what just the D-class monsters could do. That monster looked pretty cool too. I would take one of those to keep it as a pet.
Okay. Anything
That
else?
manga reminded me of like a Digimon or something.
Digimon, didn't know about this.
All right. Anybody else? Anything else?
The way this chapter was set up and having Erza do that just it's like brought back. This is what Fairy Tail is and has always been, and I was just like, this is so beautiful.
All right. I'm gonna say definitely though that I loved the reaction from everyone. Especially the highlight for me was seeing Mest brought to tears, or Dorenbalk brought to tears. He was so worried about Fairy Tail, and then Erza just kind of laid waste to everyone's doubt. And this makes me feel like Square Nose and his buddies are so severely fucked. But,
Square Nose, if Sabretooth and Fairy Tail pull together.
Oh, jeez. If you unite Sabretooth and Fairy Tail, it's fucking over. That's all I'm saying. Do not make an enemy out of those two guilds. But anyway, I have a firm belief that Sabretooth and Fairy Tail are going to join forces to beat the shit out of Raventail. That's all I'm saying. Alrighty. So, on a rating system of 1 through 10, 1 being this was complete shit, and 10 being this is the most awesome thing that he's ever done, how would you rate this manga chapter compared to all the previous chapters that Hiro Mishima has done for Fairy Tail so far? Gray.
You said 10, right?
Yeah.
Can I go higher than 10, please?
No, 10.
22.
Fucking loser.
I'm not a loser. I'm a winner.
That means even in blackjack you busted.
Winning!
You just cracked. So,
Winning!
No, it's not winning.
Yes.
No, that's actually losing, sir.
I'm
gonna go with 10 on that.
I'm not
Lisanna.
playing blackjack.
11.
Fucking hell, all of you. Charle.
10.
Loki.
23.
Elfman.
I'm gonna go with a 9.
Okay. Ares.
77.
I set a trend.
Wendy.
10.
Oh, bitch.
So, all you lion motherfuckers, pretty much everybody gives it a 10 except for Choji, who gives it a 9. Nice to know. Alright, at least
You're welcome.
somebody was considering what I'd said about previous chapters. Anyway, so, that is our opinion of this chapter. We want to hear yours. Let us know what you thought of this chapter. fairytailpodcast@gmail.com, but you can also post on facebook.com//fairytailpodcast, or you can send us a reply on Twitter, fairytailcast on Twitter. Alrighty. So, that is pretty much it for us, and all that is left for us to do is to just name this crazy, retarded, fucked up episode of the podcast. So, episode 42 shall be called What? Charle.
Butterflies.
Okay. Ares.
Devastation?
Elfman.
There's a sword of youth.
Gray.
Sugar water purple.
Lisanna.
Erza's our daddy.
Loki.
Pandemonium, thy name is Erza.
And Wendy.
No one can count to 10.
1,
I counted beyond 10.
3, 4, 5, 10.
No one can stop at 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11.
And I'm going with the bourbon turned Shira's hair red.
Bourbon.
Purple.
No, wait. No, I got it. The bourbon caused Erza's hair, the bourbon caused Erza to purple all over Pandemonium.
With a mustache.
Yeah. What?
No,
Purpling mustache.
how about
Bless you.
bourbon plus Erza equals purpling Pandemonium?
That sounds
Doesn't
painful.
that pretty much cover everything?
That sounds
3D.
painful.
In 3D.
In 3D.
No, you know what? Not in 3D. And you know why? Because
4D.
it's a stupid fucking gimmick and everyone knows it!
In 4D, you can actually smell the jizz.
Alright. You know what? Give bitch a sword. Bitches love swords.
Give that bitch a cannon.
Alright. So that is it for us, and we are going to play through all the ways you can get a hold of us. You can now find us on iTunes and Zune by searching for Fairy Tale Podcast, or if you're watching us on YouTube, check the links below.
You can visit our website, fairytalepodcast.wordpress.com, to download the latest episodes of the podcast, plus download and see images and recipes from our segments.
You can find us on YouTube by looking at Fairy Tale Podcast. All of our episodes are posted immediately as they are finished, along with all the interviews. And remember to like and favorite the videos, as well as spread the word.
Keep up to date on when the newest episodes and chapters come out, as well as chat with other fans of the podcast and the Fairy Tale community. Discuss all your latest obsessions, share news, and chat with the crew of the podcast. Also be sure to send us your AMVs to post as well as any cosplay images you have. Help our community of fans to grow.
Keep up to date with the latest news, podcast updates, con updates, and what's going on in the world of Fairy Tale by following us on Twitter at FairyTaleCast.
And every time we get another follower, we give Happy a fish.
And don't forget, if you want to send us fan mail, send it to fairytalepodcast@gmail.com. Alright, so we hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast. We know that Gray did because, well,
I'm a hole.
we were fucking geniuses in it. We were the two laughing through the entire chapter. Yeah, everybody else was stunned. We were laughing. Hell yeah. Alright, so, again, we've got all these wonderful conventions that we're going to, and we could really, really use your help in getting there. So please help keep the feed alive, and if you'd like to see us in your neck of the woods, of course, it helps to contact your convention staff and let them know that you'd like to have us attend. But again, since we pay travel expenses out of pocket, we do need your help with donations. So remember, go to that Konoha Corner website, which is konohacornerpodcast.webs.com. Click on that donation button, insert the monetary amount of your choice into Happy's little pouch. You can also donate via PayPal by going onto PayPal and gifting the money to konohacornerpodcast@gmail.com. Alrighty, so while you're doing all of that, please don't forget the reason that we are all here, and that's the Fairy Tale series! Help keep Hiro Mashima employed, and it's really, really easy to do that. All you have to do is purchase the anime, manga, video games, and all the swag that's out there. Show your support by being a fan, because Erza has proven, yet again with this chapter, that pirates are Fairy Tale's bitch.
Again.
If she hasn't proven it already, she definitely did with this chapter, just saying. Alrighty, I am Natsu Dragneel, and I am saying, God, I really want to be with Erza now.
My name is Aries, and goodbye.
My name is Charle, and why do butterflies have to be so damn hard to catch?
I am Elfman, and I may have had a little bit too much bourbon.
That's never a bad thing.
True.
No such thing as too much, but
Right?
I may be sharing as well.
share them.
That's why I've been purpling all over the
Share
place.
them well. I'm Gray, and hey, Charle, look at the chat.
You're a jackass! I'm Lisanna, and hey, I'm actually signing up for once. That's a new thing.
I'm Loki, and Natsu, you can have Erza. I'm gonna go get myself a piece of Lucy.
Too late, I'm already there, bro.
Have fun with that. Yeah, Gray already took her. Didn't you see?
I have two now. I have
Sorry,
Juvia
bro.
and Lucy.
Yeah, Juvia stopped hating Lucy when she realized they could share.
I'm Cindy, and I have officially broken 1,000 followers on Twitter.
Oh God.
You need to tell them all to follow us.
Okay, I can do that. I can tweet that right now.
Do it!
My name is Natsu, and stop fucking shipping me with Yukino!
So how's the
I'm
Adriatic
Lisanna,
Ocean?
and I approve this message.
So how's the ocean right now in your ship?
You keep trying to ship yourself with me, Lisanna.
And that's
No,
why
I don't want to.
I think Natsu's gonna sink himself.
And that is it for us. We are signing out from the greatest guild in the world. Peace off.